Good afternoon and welcome back to Brands Hatch, ladies and gentlemen, here on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Action presented by the British Automobile Racing Club here on BARC TV Live. Our next race on our live coverage today is going to be the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. That's coming up in just a few minutes' time. A good entry of BMWs of all shapes and sizes, BMW Minis as well, in our next race. They first raced this season just a few days ago at Donington Park on Bank Holiday Monday, where Brad Sheehan and Michael Pensavale were the race winners. Michael not here this weekend, Brad Sheehan is though. We'll see how he gets on a little later on, just a few minutes' time. The first race for the BMWs, two races for them today about to get underway. But before we get into the race action, our ace interviewer Ian Waterhouse caught up with a couple of the drivers in the paddock this morning.
With James Ford. James, talk us through qualifying first of all. How did it go out there for you?
Yeah, right. It's quite sketchy. Bit slippery because the trucks have been out.
Yeah.
New brakes, had to bed the brakes in, fresh stuff. So qualifying was good. It's quite hot out there today. Got no ventilation in the car, so...
I was going to say, you've just answered my question.
Yeah,
it must be roasting
no ventilation. The other guys have, but yeah, that's the next thing on the list. So
can't you just drill a massive hole somewhere?
Yeah, I was going to get the jigsaw out and just do a big hole, but I've taken the door off now. It's a shame you can't go around the door off, but yeah.
No, I've got something interesting to tell you. It's not that interesting, by the way. I overtook you on a motorway this morning coming into Brands Hatch.
Did you? Where the 5 Series?
So, well, this was on the back. I'm sure this was on the back.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah. Oh,
so there you go. I'm one lap ahead. I'm sorry.
Right,
sorry,
mate.
mate.
You've done me. It's because obviously Trevor brought one car up one day and then mine up today. So we live local. So
nice. What's the expectation for the race? And obviously you want to go forward, don't you?
Yeah, no idea. Obviously we've put the bigger engine in this car. It was the 1.8, but now it's 2.8. So it's a different driving experience. I've still got small brakes, believe it or not, so they don't help. But just going to go for it and see. Just fit minis out of us today. The minis are quick, but I'm just going to do what I can. You know, just give it some.
Top man, best of luck. Thanks for chatting to us,
guys.
And we'll catch you later. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
James Ford. Right, here we are with Ronan Bradley. Ronan, talk us through qualifying. How did it go for you?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit off the pace. Where I thought I would kind of be, I was hoping I could push on and try and get in behind the rest of them, but first time with Kumho, bit of an experience out there. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the race when it comes around, but they're very quick at the front. They're
very, very quick, aren't they? What's it like going down Paddock Hill Bend in one of these? Because it dips down, doesn't it?
Yes, you've got to be careful, I guess. Paddock is quite daunting, and if you lose it, you know the consequences are in the gravel. So it's always in the back of your mind, I guess, but you've got to try and push on. You get braver and braver, I guess, and try and remember the limits. But it's dry today, which is a bonus, so it's even more daunting in the rain.
Lovely, look, Ronan, best of luck. Thanks for chatting to us as well. Really appreciate it. Best of luck for the race. That's Ronan Bradley. Right, it's time for the race to get underway. I'll hand over to commentator Dave Goddard to talk you through the action.
Okay, well, thanks, Ian. We'll bring you the grid for the BMWs in just a moment. The race for the Legends car just coming to its conclusion out there on track. So the BMW qualifying session took place this morning, and it was car number 32 of James Card who set pole position. James looking for some better fortunes this weekend. He had electrical issues with his car on Bank Holiday Monday, only really got one race in of the two. He's on pole alongside Donington winner number 28 Brad Sheehan. The second row 47 Niall Bradley and 48 of Darren Morgan Owen. Row 3 74 of Max Walton and number 10 Ian Crisp. Fourth row number 40 Jasvir Sapra and 78 Ronan Bradley. The fifth row got the first of the BMW Minis, number 3 Dan Butcher Lord alongside 25 of Trevor Ford, the father of James, who we spoke to earlier on. The sixth row number 7 Kevin Denwood and 42 of Andy Langley. Seventh row 411 Zach Blackwell and number 69 James Ford. The penultimate row 53 Neil Clark and 55 Gary Papworth, and Pete Miller number 50 starts at the back. Hopefully we'll see all 17 cars out there. A few cars not repaired after Donington, the first round of the championship on Bank Holiday Monday. Notably Michael Pensavale suffered some problems there. He did win the second race, but more work needed on his BMW following that event. So James Card on pole, as we said, electrical issues causing him some problems at Donington. He did manage to finish third in the second race though. Alongside him, Brad Sheehan in his pink and white M3, mostly BMW M3s out in the race we're going to see next. We also welcome Niall and Ronan Bradley. They're running in the invitation class, drivers not fully registered for the championship. James Ford is in the invitation class this weekend. I think that's because of a change of engine, he was saying in his car. Max Walton, good to have him here, number 74, the Hampshire driver. Had some problems at Donington as well, but he's repaired his car for this one. Ian Crisp, number 10, with his very nice BMW 1M Coupe, breaking the dominance of the M3s. Jasvis Sapra from Coventry is here, old-fashioned club racer he is, races his BMW in any event it's eligible for. He's out somewhere every weekend. We've seen him in the Brick Car Series this year. And leading the BMW Minis in qualifying, there's a new class this year for BMW Minis, number 3, Daniel Butcher-Lord from Peterborough. I know his sister Stephanie Lord was looking on our YouTube channel and commenting this morning, so hopefully she's watching. Niall and Brad lock horns again, says one of our YouTube commenters, Brad Sheehan and Niall Bradley, that's referring to. The BMW Minis led by Dan Butcher-Lord on the grid. We've got Kevin Denwood in his BMW Compact out there. The Ford family, Trevor Ford, number 25, the president of the BMW Racing Drivers Club, which administers this series, now in its 34th season racing on the UK circuits, the Kumho BMW Championship. Good heavens, they're nearly as old as me. Pete Miller at the back of the grid with his M3, E36 M3. He's listed as racing a compact, but he is in an M3 saloon. Okay, this will be a 20-minute race, I believe. Let's check the time tell. Yes, 20 minutes for the BMWs. It'll be a standing start. Kumho tyres, long-time supporters of this championship, running on Kumho slick tyres this weekend. This championship open to any model of BMW. The most powerful cars run in Class A. Slightly less powerful cars with specific engine types running Class B. Class M is for the BMW Minis, and the invitation class for non-fully registered drivers and cars that don't conform to the other classes. It's the other class we've got here. We haven't got any Class C or D machines for the less powerful cars this weekend. Coming up after the BMWs, we have the second race for the Avon tyres, Intermark Silhouettes. Great race from them. If you missed it this morning, Steve Burrows passing Malcolm Blackman to take the win. We'll have the qualifying session as well for the pickup truck racing championship. That's going to be very spectacular indeed. Qualifying today, racing tomorrow. And some slightly different regulations on qualifying for them as well. We'll come to those a little later on. We'll have a second race for the BMWs, and later on today at around 5:20, we'll have the second race for the British Truck Racing Championship. Hopefully Robert Clark, aka Pointy, is going to join us on commentary for that one. The BMWs you can just see on the left of your screen there are in the assembly area. I can see Pete Miller's car. Also the 55 Gary Papworth. You may just be able to see it there. Is a bit different. That's a Mini Cooper Clubman estate. Well, if Volvo and Honda can enter estates in British touring cars, Gary Papworth can enter a Mini Clubman estate with the BMW Mini class. Good to see a few spectators enjoying the sunshine there on the banking. You can see on the right of your screen, just near where those cars are parked, that sandy area, that is part of the old rallycross course at Brands Hatch. That area used to be known as the Knife Edge, then they dropped back onto the tarmac and run the wrong way up Cooper Straight before turning back through the edge of what's now the paddock up towards Paddock Hill Bend, where the old Brands Hatch rallycross course used to run. The likes of Will Gollop, Martin Shanker, John Welch, Pat Duran found some of their successes. 400 of you watching on YouTube at the moment, so thank you very much indeed to everybody for looking on in. Do leave us a comment, do like the stream. Right, here come the BMWs then. James Card already in position in the silver car on pole. The pink and white, I believe that's a Days of Thunder NASCAR-inspired livery for Brad Sheehan, the pink and white machine. Second row, we've got the first of the Bradley boys. That's Niall Bradley, the green and white, alongside the plain white machine of Darren Morgan-Owen. In the black and yellow car, number 74, Max Walton. One car that's not there, unfortunately, is Ian Crisp. The 1M Coupe is not there, should be alongside Max Walton. Jasper Sapra's there, the grey M3, starts alongside Ronan Bradley, white car with the green stripes. And then we've got the first of the BMW Minis, the navy blue one of Dan Butcher-Lord, starts alongside Trevor Ford in black and blue. And we have the blue and orange compact of Kevin Denwood. The white BMW Mini is Andy Langley, won their class at Donington on Bank Holiday Monday. The black and yellow BMW Mini with the yellow wing, that's Zach Blackwell from Woking in Surrey. Alongside him is James Ford, number 69. Then the grey BMW Mini is Neil Clark. The Clubman Estate is Gary Papworth. And we've got Pete Miller's black E36 M3. There's Ian Crisp, he's at the back. I haven't been given an amended grid for this one, so not sure why Ian Crisp is starting at the back. Must have been late to the assembly area or something. Brad Sheehan going for win number 2 this season then. In this 20-minute race for the Kumho Tyres Green BMW Championship. The green flag lap gets underway. Just to give them a chance to warm their tyres. You see the drivers weaving to get some heat into their tyres. Mainly E46 M3s up there. We've got a couple of E36s, a few BMW Minis, one E46 compact. James Ford's in a 328i, and of course the 1M starting from the back. Watch for Ian Crisp from there. James Card on pole, then a stalwart of this championship, as was his late father Roger. Used to race an E30 M3. The dominant force in this championship in the last few years was Gary Whitaker, who I think in the 2019 season, actually went unbeaten for the whole year. I don't think he was even headed all season. He's now moved on to the Classic Thunder Saloon Championship with another BMW. And his previously dominant E36 M3 now in the hands of Rod Burley, who's here on the organisational side at Brands Hatch this weekend. Other drivers to have graduated from this series include Tom Wrigley, who went on into the Ginetta Super Cup, and also Rick Kerry, who briefly appeared in the BTCC a few years ago with the diesel-powered BMW 1 Series. He was successful in this series. It's a long-established championship for all BMWs. And great to see the BMW Minis coming in this year as well. Up to the grid then, ready for 20 minutes for the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. 32, James Card on pole. 28, Brad Sheehan looking for his second win of the season alongside him. Second row, Niall Bradley and Darren Morgan-Owen. Watch for Ian Crisp from the back in the 1M, number 10. Last few cars settling at the rear of the grid. The marshals head behind the pit wall. The marshal at the back of the grid will display the green flag, the first standing start we've had today. All set then for 20 minutes of racing. The green flag is shown at the back of the grid. Kumho Tyres BMW Championship about to get underway. The revs begin to rise and away they go. And not the best of starts for James Card from pole position. It's Brad Sheehan who goes into the lead as they head down to paddock for the first time. Niall Bradley is up there in third place. Looks like everybody has got away cleanly. The BMW Minis going round the outside there. Andy Langley that was, but Sheehan who leads. Card in second. Third place is Niall Bradley. That's Darren Morgano in. Jasvir Sapra under attack from Max Walton. And Ian Crisp already from the back of the grid. He's up into 7th place. He got a phenomenal start through from the back. Round Graham Hill Bend they go for the first time. A snake of BMWs. There's Andy Langley leading the BMW Minis. He's got ahead of Dan Butcher-Lord, who didn't get the best of starts there. As they roar their way along Cooper straight through Surtees and McLaren. Brad Sheehan leads from James Card. Leader runs a bit wide out of Clark Curve onto the main straight, completing the first lap. It is Brad Sheehan who leads the way. Niall Bradley could be coming under fire here for third from Darren Morgan Owen. Half a second in it as they cross the line for the first time. There is Bradley, the white and green number 47, chased by the all-white machine of Darren Morgan Owen. Number 48, the man from St Leonard's on Sea in Essex. And Jasvir Sapra, Max Walton, Ian Crisp. Ronan Bradley is in 8th place in his E36. Niall Bradley defending from Darren Morgan Owen down to Graham Hill Bend. Still your leader is Brad Sheehan, chased by James Card. They've gone clear. James Card be ruining that fairly poor start. This is the battle for third, and closing in on them is Jasvir Sapra in that 5th position. The grey number 40 E46. A little bit of smoke there, possibly from Niall Bradley in third. We'll keep an eye on that. Over the line they go. The lead gap is half a second. Brad Sheehan, a lap of 51.3 seconds there. Only a short circuit here at Brands Hatch. There's Ronan Bradley in 7th. Then a gap back to Andy Langley in 9th place. Ronan Bradley in 8th, sorry. Rounding out the top 10 is Trevor Ford. Then Kevin Denwood ahead of James Ford and Dan Butcher-Lord. The rest of them go across the line. Gary Papworth in the Mini Estate at the back. There is Andy Langley from Fakenham in Norfolk, leading the BMW Mini category. No change among the leaders. Max Walton closing up on Jasvir Sapra there for 5th position. Sapra, the grey car with the gold mirrors, leads Max Walton in the 74 from Basingstoke in Hampshire. Kevin Denwood, number 7 in the compacts there, coming under fire from Dan Butcher-Lord. Gary Papworth at the back of the field in the Mini Estates. One car into the pit lane. Who's that? Is that Card that's going? Yes, it's James Card has come into the pit lane. We've lost our 2nd place man. Probably still suffering those electrical gremlins that blighted him at Donington. So more problems for poor James Card as Dan Butcher-Lord makes a move down the Brabham Straight on Kevin Denwood. That is for 11th place. Brad Sheehan leads, and yes, James Card has gone into the pits. So it's Niall Bradley now 2nd, Darren Morgano in 3rd. Brad Sheehan, that's pink and white, number 28. The NASCAR liveried machine leads the way. Been racing with the BMW Car Club Series as well this season quite successfully. Had a win, an absolute monsoon earlier this year at Castle Combe in Wiltshire. Jasvir Sapra now defending 4th place from Max Walton. You can see on the left of your screen there James Card in the pit lane. He's out of it. 25, that is Trevor Ford, the elder statesman of the championship, the club president of the BMW Racing Drivers Club, under fire from Dan Butcher-Lord in the Mini. Niall Bradley, a Brands Hatch local. He and Ronan compete in the Classic and Modern Motorsport Club's Super Saloons series on occasions with their BMWs. They were racing at Liddon Hill recently, in even deeper down in Kent. There is the number 10 of Ian Crisp, now up to 6th from the back. Niall Bradley leading the invitation class in 2nd place. Class B is being led by Trevor Ford, and the Minis by Andy Langley. Great shame for James Card, just doesn't ever seem to have the luck going for him in this series. Brad Sheehan leads, he's 2.5 seconds up now on Niall Bradley. A little bit sideways there, getting onto the curb, coming out of Druids. They come down towards Graham Hill Bend. Max Walton on the tail of Jasvir Sapra as they go down towards Graham Hill Bend. Jasvir Sapra, we've seen him in the Brick Car Trophy Series this season with his BMW. So to give best to Simon Baker's BMW on all 4 occasions this year. There's Ronan Bradley starting to drop back from those ahead of him. He's in 7th place. That's the old E36 shape of BMW, very famous in British touring cars in the 1990s, of course, the E36. Jasvir Sapra under real pressure now from Max Walton. He tries to close the door on him. He's not going to be able to do so. Into Paddock Hill Bend on the brakes. Max Walton up the inside and up in a fourth place. Good driving by Max Walton in the number 74. Gets ahead of Jasvir Sapra. Jasvir, a very quick driver, tries to lunge back in again there. Nearly clips the back of Max Walton. Good clean racing, and they're being closed down by Ian Crisp as well, who had to start from the back in the number 10 car. Still a long way to go in this first BMW race of the day. In the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship, they are on the knife edge of adhesion there through Surtees, the left-hander, then up towards McLaren. Clear ways and into Clark Curve. Look at the way Max Walton is pulling away from Jasvir Sapra. He wants to go after Darren Morgan-Owen for third place. Lead gap is 3 seconds. Similar gap from Niall Bradley to Darren Morgan-Owen. And Max Walton, not surprisingly, just did his personal best lap of the race, and he's now 3.3 seconds behind Darren Morgan-Owen. There is the 48 car in third. There is Max Walton. He wants a podium. The leader is coming into backmarker traffic. Gary Papworth in the estate gets out of his way. He's got his headlights on there now, Brad Sheehan, so lets the leaders know he's coming. That lurid pink number 28 machine. He's got the number 411 of Max Blackwell there, gets out of his way, lets him through. And Pete Miller as well in the E36 number 50. The Sussex driver, scored his maiden win at Donington a couple of years ago. Over the line they come, less than 13 minutes left, so still plenty of laps to come. 2.5 seconds is now the lead gap, so Niall Bradley did close in a little bit on Brad Sheehan that time around. Sheehan was busy with back markers, of course. Here's the battle for the lead in the BMW Mini category, and Dan Butcher-Lord attacking Andy Langley. This is for the class lead as they go into Surtees, and he's going to go through. Dan Butcher-Lord, good move there. Oh, he's gone over the grass on the exits. Gets it under control. Can he hold his class lead? It looks like it. Andy Langley goes back to the inside, though, through Clark Curve. And that loss of momentum for Dan Butcher-Lord. He was a bit too late on the brakes into Surtees there. Went over the grass and has lost the lead to Andy Langley, who pulls away down the Brabham Straights. The leaders will shortly be coming up to lap this pair. There's Brad Sheehan lapping James Ford in car 69. There we see the class order. The Bradleys heading the invitation class. Langley, Butcher-Lord and Neil Clark, the top three in the BMW Mini class. Trevor Ford leads Kevin Denwood in Class B. Third in Class B is Pete Miller. There is Trevor, number 25. And of course Class A is as overall. With Brad Sheehan in front. Second in Class A is Morgan-Owen. And then Walton in third place. Blue flag being waved to warn the back markers. The leader is coming up to lap them. Through clearways into Clark Curve. Brad Sheehan looking good already for win number 2. We're not even at half distance yet, and the two BMW Minis parts ways there to let him through. Through the middle, thank you very much, says Brad Sheehan. Side by side for the lead in the BMW Minis then, Langley and Butcher-Lord. Separated by 1/10 of a second. Andy Langley in the white car still has the advantage. Dan Butcher-Lord's going for it though, up into Druids. And he has got through on the entry to Druids, so Dan Butcher-Lord back ahead. There's great fight between these two. They've just gone a lap down to Brad Sheehan. Terrific fights as Dan Butcher-Lord retook the lead under braking for Druids. There goes Sheehan, out on his own now in the overall lead, nearly 4 seconds clear. There's Niall Bradley in second. Number 47. Third overall, Darren Morgan-Owen. Of course, Niall Bradley not registered for the full championship. Normally runs in other series, so is in the invitation class. There's Kevin Denwood chasing Trevor Ford. They're fighting for 10th. Darren Morgan-Owen lapping them in the white 48 car. It's such a shame that James Card's car yet again let him down. He's in the pit lane out of this one. We're only just at half distance, 10 minutes to go. There goes Darren Morgan-Owen. What was his gap to the car ahead? Nearly 4 seconds, so the leaders are fairly well spread out. Jasvir Sapra, meanwhile, has got back ahead of Max Walton. Yes, here they come down the Cooper Straight. So Jasper Sapra's got back up into 4th. He's retaken Max Walton. I wonder if Max was delayed briefly by a back marker. Ian Crisp is in 6th place, then Ronan Bradley. Dan Butcher-Lord is 8th, Andy Langley 9th, and Trevor Ford rounds out the top 10. Kevin Denwood is 11th, James Ford in 12th. Neil Clark's Mini is 13th, then Pete Miller, Max Blackwell and Gary Papworth round out the runners, and I think James Card may have rejoined the track. He's several laps down. He won't be classified if he does finish. There go the leaders. 4.5 seconds in it now for the lead. The 4th place fight is in heavy back marker traffic coming onto the Cooper Straights. Just looking a little further back down the field. Jasper Sapra still holding 4th. There they are into Surtees, coming up on Trevor Ford. Sapra from Walton in this battle. They've now got Trevor Ford in between the two of them. These three are quite a way off Darren Morgan-Owen in 3rd place, to the tune of 7.5 seconds. And there's Ian Crisp, number 10. He's closing right up on Max Walton now as well. James Card no longer in the pit lane. We'll see if he's back out there, probably trying to get the car set up and make sure it's running properly ahead of race 2 later on. There's Trevor Ford. He leads Class B ahead of Kevin Denwood. They're separated by 1.6 seconds. Now Denwood could catch Trevor here. See if he can take a class win. There's Ian Crisp, that lovely E82 1 Series M Coupe, the 1M, prepared by G Sport. I noticed on the side there. That's Gary Whitaker, the former multiple champion in this series. 4.5 seconds in it for the lead. There's Ronan Bradley, number 78. The Irish-born family, now locals to Brands Hatch. Jasper Sapra under fire. There's Max Walton again, trying his move at Paddock Bend, but not close enough this time. There is Brad Sheehan. He's coming up to lap Ronan Bradley now in 7th place. So Ronan doesn't get in his way. Just keeping it steady here. He outpaced James Carr off the line. A little bit sideways there though through Clark Curve. I hope Brad Sheehan's not pushing those Kumho tyres too hard. Comes up to lap Ronan Bradley, who moves aside on the Brabham Straight, lets him through. The lead gap's up to 5 seconds now. Brad Sheehan still has the fastest lap of the race, 51.117 miles an hour. Brad Sheehan leads Class A. Class B is still led by Trevor Ford. He's got 1.8 seconds up over Kevin Denwood. Class B, invitation class I should say, is Niall Bradley, ahead of Ronan Bradley and James Ford. And the Minis led by Butcher-Lord. Andy Langley's dropped back in the last couple of laps. He's now behind Ford and Denwood. Just a notification coming through on the timing screen. Ian Crisp, car number 10, has been given a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. He is well clear of Ronan Bradley, so that may not affect his race result here, but he will get a 5-second penalty added to his finishing race time for exceeding track limits. You cannot run too far over the curbs on too many occasions, or you will be penalised. The number 10 car just going through there, but he's a long way clear of Ronan Bradley, so he's safe in 6th place. There goes the leader through Surtees. Papworth and Blackwell there, I think 2 laps down now. There is Ronan Bradley. There is Brad Sheehan. And Niall Bradley is coming up to lap Ronan Bradley, you can see in the background there. Let's hope the family don't get in each other's way. Darren Morgan-Owen having a lonely race in 3rd place. 5 minutes to go. 53 of Neil Clark is lapped. He's running in 14th place. There are the Bradleys through Graham Hill Bend. Max Walton has got back ahead further back of Jasvir Sapra in the battle for 4th place. Did that on the previous lap. Well, Brad Sheehan just out for a Saturday afternoon drive now in his BMW M3. He is heading for win number 2 for the season, and with the other winner from Donington Park, Michael Pensavalle, not here, he could take the lead of the championship. And Ian Crisp has got past Jasvir Sapra. Sapra dropping back. Has he pushed his Kumho tyres too hard? Ian Crisp up into 5th place. Now, he may have had notification that he's got that 5-second penalty, so he wants to push to try and get clear of Jasvir Sapra here. Well, he knows he's got the penalty, he knows he's got to push hard to try and overcome it. 5 seconds is a lot in circuit racing terms. There's Max Walton now running in 4th place. Here's Sapra fighting back again, up alongside Ian Crisp, but he's going to be on the wrong side for the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Crisp holds the place. Good racing here for the minor placings in Class A. This is a battle for 5th overall and 4th in Class A. Trevor Ford is still leading Class B, but Kevin Denwood trying to close him down. There goes the leader through Surtees Bend. There is Niall Bradley, 5.8 seconds now the gap between the two of them. Niall Bradley heading the invitation class. Regular with BMW CCR, BMW Car Club Racing. And with the Classic and Modern Motorsport Club enjoying a guest drive effectively with the Kumho BMWs this weekend. Plenty of places to race if you have a fast BMW. There's Ian Crisp. Can't shake off Jasvir Sapra just yet. This is the battle for 5th place. Max Walton escaping ahead of him. You can see how much they're sliding through Clark Curve there. The leader comes up to lap. This is the Class B lead battle. He's going past there. Trevor Ford and Kevin Denwood. So they're fairly close together now for the lead of Class B. Denwood is slowly but surely closing down the number 7 of Kevin Denwood. Now Sheehan really pushing hard. You can see how the rear end stepped out there on the 28. Now there is the Class B lead battle. Trevor Ford, the club president, and Kevin Denwood in number 7 in the E46 Compact. It was one of his running mates in the Compact, Carl Dack, who won the Russell Dack, I should say, who won the championship outright a few years ago. Niall Bradley is coming up to lap these two. Sheehan leads Class A. Niall Bradley, the invitation class. Dan Butcher-Lord still ahead of the BMW Minis, and Trevor Ford in Class B, which we're watching now. Just over a minute left of this race. Denwood lets the leader through. So does Ford. Kevin Denwood will be pleased to see that he wasn't held up there by any of the... Niall Bradley, sorry, will be pleased to see that. He wasn't held up by the back markers. So only 1 minute to go now. Bradley Sheehan heading for victory. He may get one more lap in here because he's lapping in the 51s. There were about 54 seconds left as they cross the line. Here he comes into Druids. He's over 6 seconds clear of Niall Bradley in 2nd place. So barring any major disaster, Bradley Sheehan has got this race in the bag. Man from Horsham in Sussex. In his lurid pink and white BMW. Niall Bradley sideways there coming out of Graham Hill Bend. I suspect his tyres are starting to go off. But the Kumho tyres holding up very nicely in this one, leading to some spectacular tail sliding racing. Lapping one of the BMW Minis there. Over the line goes Brad Sheehan. One more lap to go. There were just about 5 seconds left as he crossed the line there, so this is the final lap. 6.5 seconds ahead. Here comes Brad Sheehan. Won the first race at Donington. Led the second race until overtaken by Michael Pensavalle, who won from the back of the grid after problems in race 1. Doesn't have to worry about Michael this weekend because the Yorkshireman not out at Brands. It is going to be a win for Bradley Sheehan in the number 28 M3. Into Surtees and McLaren for the final time through the clearways. And it's a clear way to victory for the number 28 BMW E46 M3. Here comes Brad Sheehan up towards the checkered flag. 2 wins out of 3 this season for Brad Sheehan in the Kumho BMW Championship. There is the checkered flag. Brad Sheehan wins it well clear of Niall Bradley. He will win the invitation class. He comes over in second, 6.9 seconds down at the checkered flag. And it will be number 48, Darren Morgano, in a rather lonely third place, 10 seconds off. Our runner-up, Max Walton in 74, will take 4th. Now Ian Crisp crosses the line 5th ahead of Jasvir Sapra, but of course he got that 5-second penalty, so I think he'll lose that place to Jasvir Sapra in the confirmed results. A lap down, Ronan Bradley is 7th, 8th for Dan Butcher-Lord. He wins the BMW Mini category. Trevor Ford takes Class B in 9th place, just over half a second clear of Kevin Denwood. Good scrap between those two. Okay, so the class winners in that one. Brad Sheehan took the overall win in Class A, the invitation class to Niall Bradley. Trevor Ford took Class B, and Dan Butcher-Lord the BMW Minis. We'll bring you the full and confirmed results of the BMW Kumho Tyres BMW Championship in just a second. Brad Sheehan the winner by 6.93 seconds ahead of Niall Bradley, with Darren Morgano in 3rd place. 4th went to Max Walton, good result from him after problems at Donington. Ian Crisp 5th over the line, but he may get penalised behind Jasvir Sapra. We'll see what happens when that 5-second penalty is applied. 7th for Ronan Bradley, Dan Butcher-Lord a class winner in 8th, Trevor Ford a class winner in 9th, and Kevin Denwood rounding out the top 10. Andy Langley's BMW Mini was 11th, then James Ford in 12th. 13th place went to Pete Miller. It was Neil Clark 14th, and Zach Blackwell completed the top 15. 16th place went to Gary Papworth in his Mini Cooper Clubman Estate. James Card did cross the line, albeit 8 laps down after a long time in the pits with some gremlins with his BMW, so I doubt he will be classified as a finisher. Too far behind, sadly, but sets the car up for race 2, where he'll be starting from the back of the grid, so watch for him coming through the grid for race 2 based on the result of that race we've just seen. Next up on track today, it's going to be the Avon Tyres Intermark Silhouettes. We saw a race from them this morning, won by Steve Burrows, but he'll be starting 10th on the grid this time because thanks to the draw, the random draw made in Parc Ferme after race 1, the top 10 on the grid are flipped around. So 10th place finisher in race 1, which was Paul Knight, number 3, starts from pole. Okay, I think we can now throw down to Ian Waterhouse in Parc Ferme, and he can talk to our race winners from the Kumho BMWs.
Hello everybody, welcome to a very packed Parc Ferme, as you can see, for the Kumho BMW Championship. Let's go have a quick word with Brad Sheehan, shall we, the race winner, and have a little chin wag with him. Certainly not going to miss this, are we? Look at it, all the beauty.
I'm trying to go faster. You're making it slower.
Brad, quick word. Sorry to interrupt, guys. Congratulations, you almost made that look easy. But it never is, is it?
It's not easy, no. It's bloody hot out there today.
Yeah.
And to be fair, around here, I don't know how many laps we did, 20 odd laps.
So, yeah, it was quite
gets
hot,
a bit dizzy,
yeah.
to be honest.
What, how hot is it in that car then? What sort of temperatures are we running? I can feel the heat coming off.
The oil temps are getting up there, well over 100, and the water temps are there, and then I feel like I'm about 200, so it's all good fun.
And then they keep you trapped here for a bit, don't they, before you're allowed to go?
Yeah, once you're out of the car, it's not too bad, but yeah, the track was so slippery today.
Was it really?
So slippery. I've done quicker times on treaded tyres around here.
Really?
Yeah, and the coolant cooler day or the track day.
We have seen quite a lot of red flags today, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's just there's a lot of stuff on the track and it's just become slick. I mean, it's good fun. We're all on the same surface. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
If you're chasing lap times, it's not today.
No, lovely. Brad, congratulations and best of luck for race 2 as well. We've got Donington Bradley over here, Mr. Ford here as well. We've got a number of drivers potting around. I think what we're going to have to do though, the silhouettes are now out on track. So I'm going to hand back to your commentator, Dave Goddard, but we'll bring you more action from the Kumho Cups a little bit later.